Hello viewers, welcome to CodeForAny. E-commerce SwiftUI inside today we need to see this here the category product list we need to showing here the UI we need to develop here. Look like this here the UI. First of all we need to explain this UI. We need to create here the app bars. Then after the set here the selected cat subcats titles. Then after related to tags we need to show here the horizontal list. And then after we need to filters lowest price sorts and we need to convert here the list and grids need to vice versa. If you here showing here the grid, then to show this here the list buttons, and if you need to set here the grid, then to show here the list, and list show then to show here the grid buttons. Like this, you need to configurations, you need to set it here this UI. How to write down this UI inside here the Swift UI, we need to explain in details, you need to write down, and let's start. First once you need to create here the new screens, you need to create here the shops folders, you need to rename this here, so you need to set here the capitals S for this folder names, so you need to set it here like here. And now you need to create here the new files for the templates and we need to restart it here. Create here the new file and we need to give this here the name category product list like this. You need to set here the titles. Get product list screen and we need to create it here. Likes we need to set here and we need to set at this data. We need to first of all the copy here the subget screens. Need to copy here this all data, this backgrounds, and we need to go here the get product list and replace with this here's. Here replace all these things and we need to repeat it this here the UI. First of all, we need to set this here the remove here the categories. No needs this here. Like this sets here this blank and we need to set here this between here the space. Show like here. Then after we need to configure this here the heights and we need to set it this here the another things we need to configure it here the set here the titles we need to set it here. First of all we need to set it here the primary text operators. Need to create here the another waves text inside we need to put it this here the set here the text and maybe set here the waves text. This good for this UI. Check this here the alignments and this set stack. Maybe you need to remove here. Need to replace with here the stack and you need to remove here this alignment. Set here the leading is good here. Like here the set it and we need to set this here the another row here. We need to configure this means remove this frame, given this here this frame like here, and we need to set it here this text categories. After this here, we need to paste this here and we need to write down here the woman tops. And we need to set this here the bold 34. Need to apply here for this UI and we need to set here the primary text. Set here the left and horizontal 20. We need to given this here the space. Need to set here the 15 for this UI similar to UI. We need to put here and apply here. Now we need to create here the horizontal list of these tags. We need to declare here first of all the get list array. Create here brackets and we need to already created here the all tag list. Need to copy and paste here for this UI. Need to put it here and look like this here the showing here the array brackets between here. This is the created like this here the array. And now we need to write down here the list view. We need to write down here the scroll view X contents, we need to set this here the horizontals, and context we need to past here. So we need to write down here the lazy hashtag, and set here the space is 15, like here the set here 15. Now I need to create here the buttons action, like this title. So I need to set here the text. I need to copy any one text, paste this here, apply here the remove here the this years, and to set here the center. Now I need to set here the for each loop. Need to set here the data range 0 to slash. Use this here the get array dot length count and indexed, and maybe we need to provide this here the id dot slash dot cell, like here. So need to providing this here the data, and these buttons are connoted like here's, and we need to for each set here the foreground colors. Need to set here dot foreground style white colors, background set here first one, set here width. We need to give this here the 120, heights we need to give this here the 35, and alignments we need to set here the center. Then after we need to set here the background. We need to backgrounds as we need to set this here the color black, like here, and we need to give this here the corner radius. Need to set this here the 20, like this appropriate UI. Otherwise need to give this here the 35 and to 17.5. Like so need to configurations are the needs, and we need to configure years, and we need to restart this years. Check this here currently configurations before this current state. Show like here, and we need to change this here the fonts. We need to set here the 14 medium, and set here the colors white. And we need to set this here the frame. Copy here this scroll view, like here configurations. Remove here the width and height. Alignments no needs. Remove these paddings, and we need to integrate this padding here the here this UI. Scroll view S20 S15, not 20. Here also 15. Not reflecting here this UI. We need to again restart this years for this UI drawing here again. And look like this here the showing for this UI. Now this data, and also show indicators need to set this here the false. And then after we need to draw this here the UI. I need to creating here the hashtags like here, and we need to make this here the button action buttons, and we need to write down here the image resource resizable and scale to fit. Then after we need to set this here the frame. We need to give this here the width 25 and height 25. Alignments we need to set this here the center. Now we need to pass this here the system image, system name. For the filters we need to set here the filter icons. Paste this here and show like this here. We need to integrate here. Now need to set here the text. Now need to copy any ones foreground centers like here. Paste this here. Now need to set here the titles as a filter and regular 11 fonts. We need to set this here. Colors we need to set this here the primary text. Like we need to configure and make sure. Or we need to this horizontal. So need to set here the bottom its space, as well as we need to set here the horizontal 15 for this UI, and we need to set this here the background color dots. We need to set this here the BG colors like here. Again, so we need to copy for this line of buttons. We need to paste this here. For now, we need to set here the arrow up and down, copy relative path, paste here, and we need to write down here the price tags. Price lowest to lowest to highest like here. And last buttons we need to make here the UI. We need to set this here the grid. Remove this here the filter buttons, filter text. Like here, so need to showing this here and to write down here the math center. And we need to wait for the restarting here this UI, and we need to check this here the UI data. And reloading this here the screens and show like this here the UI. Make sure so need to give this here the top and vertical state for this UI. Show like here. And we need to write down here the where object is equal to get array index of value, and we need to set this here this replace with this here. Need to write down here the name property, as we need to get this here the string, optional string. If not string, and we pass this here the blank. Now this is are the created here, and also need to give this here the property 8 reflect here and set at this here. Now all things are the remove here on use codes. Now we need to make here the UI, as we need to drawing here the cells for needed here. We need to go inside here the home and item row. We need to copy this here, this image. We need to put here for this UI. We need to use here this copy this tag and we need to go inside here this categories and we need to replace with this years hashtag hashtag like yours paste this years cut this here the image paste years and we need to give this here the image size. Remove here the open text. No needs need to clean here. Now one for and one for like this heights so need to set here and max center next left. Like so need to calling here for this here. Throw here the star ratings. We need to scroll to down here. We need to set here the price only here. And this one is titles. Need to apply here. And this horizontal text also need to set here the background color white. Then after corner radius, set here the 10 and set here the shadow 1, 2 and Y. Set here the 1. Like here the callings and make sure you need to make here the list. Here, remove here this list and we need to set this here the static as we need to set here the 10 SC1. We need to set here the titles. First ones we need to colon oh, rating by rate thus 10 horizontals. We need to show here the errors remove yours because we need to delete this data. That's why not reflecting this here the UI. Here not loaded, so need to run inside the other screen to open this screen. So need to like execution, so need to set it here. I need to go inside here the subcats and we need to convert into this UI how to navigate this. We need to call here the nav button, nav link, destinations like these labels need to put here this mistake. Paste this here and now need to open this here the get product list like here's, and we need to go inside here the main tab and click here the shops. Open this here the new, select here's, we need to run directly inside here the e-commerce apps here, so need to put the screens and to test here because canvas is not reflecting. Need to directly put this here this UI, so this is, and you need to fixing this here first of all the app bars. Remove here the top 8, and you need to fix this here the related to the stars, as well as need to even this here the paddings of this years. It's 15s, and set here the resizables this param with, you need to set this here the 15s as height 15s alignments, no needs, need to clean here. Now this is are the fixed here, as well as need to increase this here the space of this list. Set here space, set here the 15, and make sure set your color black with opacity 0.2. Click here, and we need to restarting this here this app, and show like this here. Maybe you need to fix this here this corner radius of this image. We need to set here corner radius, yes this corners, to go inside here this common extensions, UI extensions. You need to find out here the view around corners. You need to bind with here the radius and corners. restart this app. And show like this here, similar to designs look like this here. The UI you need to show it here, and make sure you need to check this working good. Navigations, fix this here and set this here. Subcat e-commerce. Now install these apps and we need to click here, but maybe click event is not working here. Need to use this here the but here set here the button, and we need to call this here the print event. Hello. Let's check. Set like this here the booleans, state variables, each where also need to set here false. Go here and we need to set it, and we need to set this here the dollars. Sure. Now need to test this log first false. Now we need to later fix this issue. Need to control Z and directly check to here. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new user, so please subscribe my channel and press the notification bell icon. You can get our new video notifications and also content. If you have any question, so please write down in the comment section. So I will help you and sort out your issue. Everyone have a nice day. Goodbye and take care.